Welcome, I'm the Kaiju no Kami here at Denver Comic Con 2017. I've got a great author here, John Stith. Welcome, are you enjoying yourself?
Absolutely, this is an amazing con.
So you're an author, correct?
Right.
What type of books do you write?
I write science fiction novels, kind of tending on the hard end of the scale, maybe in the vein of Orson Scott Card's Ender's Game.
So you're an Orson Scott Card fan?
Yeah, I like a lot of his work. He writes so many different kinds of things that I'm not a fan of everything.
Is that what got you into writing originally, or did something else make you decide want to be an author?
Love of reading was it. Every once in a while I'd finish a book and get an adrenaline rush from how good the ending was, and I eventually said to myself, I wish I could do that for people.
And then you just went out and did it?
And then I spent 10 years procrastinating, and then I went out and did it.
So what made you decide to do sci-fi?
I loved sci-fi from the beginning. My mom brought me a copy of Heinlein's Citizen of the Galaxy when I was homesick one day, and I had been reading, Tom Swift Jr. and stuff like that, and Heinlein really hooked me. And I was lucky. My local library in Alamogordo, New Mexico, was near a rocket test space, and it had a lot of high-tech folks around, and so they had a wonderful science fiction section.
What are some of the titles that you have that people can check out, and are they for all ages or an intended audience?
There's nothing really crude or heavily sexual, so a lot of my stuff does appeal to YA readers as well as adults. Manhattan Transfer is probably one of my best known. In chapter 1, Manhattan is kidnapped, is scooped off the face of the earth, put aboard an enormous starship, and set down in the midst of 100 other alien cities. So most of the book is our heroes trying to figure out why they're there and how to get out of there.
And so they're stranded on a spaceship with the aliens then?
Right, with 100 different kinds of aliens.
What type of aliens are there? Anything that you can tell me visually?
There are some kind of amorphous blobs that float. There's the captors are vaguely reminiscent of spiders, multi-legged.
Now, what would you say to a kid that is unsure about getting into writing because they're not sure if they're really going to have their writing praised or made fun of?
Quit. Seriously, yeah, I write because I eventually felt compelled to write. It's not an easy career, at least for most people. And if you don't feel a need to write, if you don't feel that push, that compulsion, find an easier profession, I would say. But if you really want to do something with your life that is amazingly rewarding and fun, and it works for you and you enjoy the process, then do it. Make it a habit. Do it every day.
Well, have you seen changes in the industry because of social media and online reading and everything?
Well, certainly ebook reading has taken over in a huge way, and I read on my phone normally. I like the contrast, the lightness, not have to carry a heavy book around with me or multiple heavy books. And social media has certainly made it easier to get out the word, but it's also intensified the competition. When I started writing in the 80s, there were, if you couldn't get through the gate at the conventional publishers, you had to pay a lot of money to self-publish. So that really reduced the number of people who were out there. And now that there's no gate to entry, there's a lot of choices out there.
I'd say it's kind of funny that you love to read on your tablet. I actually prefer a physical book. I need to have pages in my hands that I turn. I just can't do the digital. I need something there that I'm actually holding.
Right. My wife's the same way, and I was the same way for a long time. I still love books. I still love physical books, but I'm sold by some of the advantages that I want to use sometimes.
So, do you do both physical and digital copies of your books?
Right. My books, my 8 science fiction novels were originally published by Tor Books and Ace Books and Science Fiction Book Club. And now, in the last 2 years, they've all been reprinted re-released in trade paperback and all the ebook formats by Reanimus Press. So I'm glad to be back in print again.
And where can people find your books?
All the big places, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, iTunes.
And where can they find out more about you online?
My website is neverend.com, and I'm on Facebook. I have a professional page and I have a personal page, but anyone's happy to, I'm happy to friend anyone who wants to, because my personal page covers my writing, but oddball things like photographing raccoons and skunks in our backyard. So.
Well, thank you so much for your time. Until next time, bye.